Hey, and welcome to the show. This show is brought to you by Patreon members like you.
Thank you for being a Patreon member.
As a Patreon member, you get a video of the podcast that we put out twice a month.
Now, on with the show.
Oh, it's definitely Monday. High Five Vega, what's going on? What is going on? Hopefully all things are well in your end of the world.
Hopefully. Yeah.
I know. Can't wait for Thursday.
Can wait?
I mean, I can wait. I guess it's a long week, so.
I mean, you have to wait. You don't have a choice.
I know I gotta wait. We got a ton of crap to do between now and then. I know. Whoa, hey.
That's loud.
Gosh, gotta turn it all the way up.
I don't know how this thing works.
I know. Is there a mute button? Mine doesn't have a mute button. Have you seen those commercials yet?
Oh, dude.
Are they not the best?
I just shared something on Facebook that's so hilarious about kids going to school, like online school.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So I enjoy it.
Well, welcome to Monday and all the joyous. What is up, Ada? Ada had a birthday.
Happy birthday.
I know, everyone should be like, Ada, happy birthday, you old fart. What's up from Maine, UK, Texas, Tennessee? Saludos.
Muchachos.
Yeah.
What's up, Alex?
Monday means nothing. Means the week's starting all over again.
Yeah.
What's up from Columbus, Ohio?
Robert Van Hoyt,
Yeah.
what's up, man? Click.
Click and clack. Quick question. Can I put an Alpine Type S? Wait, can I put a Type S12 with a Type R in the same porta box? I would not do that. No, that would be bad. That probably would be bad.
Anthony Carr Audio Live.
Oh my gosh, I know. He has his life apparently is
well, it's been moving. Yeah, crazy.
Hopefully he's filming all that.
What's up from
Seattle? Grey's Anatomy. Woo! Yeah.
Martin.
Another Ford. I know. It's okay. We're having fun with it. We're filming some stuff on it because.
What you guys don't know is like here in Florida, there's no more cars. There's only
Ford
Fords and
F-150s.
Jeeps.
When you cross the border, you have to check in your car, and you get a check.
If you have a
Wrangler
different car, it's like no, you can't. Sorry, guys.
The show is the best thing about Mondays, unless you're a football fan, in which case probably Monday Night Football is. But the nice thing about football is it doesn't last that long, and our show has been going on for a really long time. When buying a 5-channel amp, if all speakers are 4-ohm, does the sub have to be 4-ohm too? No. It just depends on what the 5th channel is capable of doing. A lot of times what you'll see is it'll be a 4-ohm, so it'll be 4 by 50 at 4-ohm. It'll be 4 by 75 at 2-ohm, but you're going to be running at 4-ohm, which is perfectly fine. So you'll get that 4 by 50. And then in the sub, it's going to be the same way. So let's say at 4-ohm, it is 250 watts. At 2-ohm, it is maybe 300 watts. And at 1-ohm, if it's capable of doing that, let's say it's 400 watts. You just have to pay attention in the specs, but you run it whatever you want. Most of the time, a 5-channel amp is whatever 4-ohm load it'll do, because most speakers are 4-ohm, and then whatever the lowest ohm load it'll possibly do on the subwoofer, that's what it's going to be, because we want to get as much bass out of this bad boy as possible.
Of course, that's
what. What's up, Clint?
Happy Tuesday, man.
On the other side of the world.
That's right.
Nothing like relaxing to the sounds of DNF when you're dealing with explosive diarrhea.
Oh.
I often feel that way myself.
Just right in the bathroom?
Dude, that is the worst experience. Oh, the worst is when it's coming out of both sides. Like, that's when you hope there's a tub nearby. Oh, you've never had that?
I know.
It's the worst, bro.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Actually, good night. I'm out. Bye. See ya. All right. So, as always, on Monday, we go to the Facebook. Why did I do that? I don't know why. We go to the Facebook page. The Clean Wire. Oh, wrong button. The Clean Wire Club. That's right. 12-volt Clean Wire Club is the place you can go if you do clean wires. Make sure you watch this video where I tell you not to do dumb things. Because, you know, it's habitual. People do. Ooh, there's an alarm looking all sexy. Someone talking about flush cutters, no doubt about it. Someone pointing out how they cleanly installed one of their Rockford Prime amplifiers. Hey, look at that, some Terra amps.
Terra amps.
Yeah, moving on. Lots of neat stuff. Somebody will ask a question. If you do ask a question, it will not live there for more than 24 hours unless it's extremely cool. But Fernando will get rid of it because he doesn't like those. Here's someone doing some really nice stuff. But what you're not seeing is a bunch of flush panels because that's not what it's about. It's about clean wire. And this week, the Clean Wire Club is brought to you by none other than this guy. Thanks, Fernando.
I didn't do that.
No, I'm saying thanks for making me the guy in the page.
Oh, you were. No.
So this is the sound digital video we did last week. We also took a couple pictures. This is their little 4x400 and their 800 by 1. A lot of people were asking about the the braiding over the wiring, which I thought was funny. Apparently no one's seen blue braiding over the wire. Someone was like, that's a big remote turn on. No, it's an 18 gauge remote turn on with braided loom over the top of it.
So now that you say that,
which is funny because we just got some in today. Look at this. There you go, right there.
Hang on.
There's some braided loom.
Right here, so they can see it.
We'll go to the Fernando
close.
cap.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a little too close.
It's a little too close.
There you go. So that's it. This is the stuff we get. Now this is 1/8 inch blue.
Yeah.
So for those guys that are wondering, this is 1,000 feet.
And if you wonder where you can get it, it's right there, right here.
Electric dock.
Electric dock.
And they're here in Florida, which means it only takes 3 days to get here.
3/4?
Yeah,
we got plenty.
So we buy. I didn't realize I bought 1,000. I bet you I ordered 100. I don't remember ordering 1,000, but I think we'll have that for the next.
1,000 is better than 100. What's
up,
up,
Tommy?
Have that
for a while. There's
Tommy, do you like the pictures on the 12?
Tommy who?
Tommy who?
Tommy who? Anyways, so if you do cool wiring and you take pictures of it, make sure you become a member of the Clean Wire Club. And the reason for that too is right now you can win the PT9A Plus. It's still available. It's still up for grabs. At some point here in the near future, we will be announcing who the winner is. But if you'd like to buy one for 99 bucks, which is like $30 off, something crazy like that, make sure you head over to mobilesolutions-usa.com, type in the coupon code 5STAR, because you really need 2 of these things in order for them to, really work the way, I like to use them. So pick it up. How long does 1,000 foot last, you guys?
We're gonna find out.
It's gonna last us years. Because I think I normally buy it. I think I buy it at $250, and we ordered it twice since we started buying it from them.
Correct.
So I'm thinking probably 3 or 4 years.
You think so? Well, but yes, because normally we use
like
the speed
12
wire.
to 24 inches at a time.
Yeah, and normally we use the speed wire.
1,000 feet, it's gonna last. I mean, we still got like probably 50 feet over there. I mean,
you're gonna be 60.
Is that a Kicker Warhorse amplifier on your wall? Yes, it is, and it is signed by Steve Irby. It was a thank you very much for the documentary we filmed for them. This was their gift card that they gave me. It has been neutered, so it's just really nice wall art, and it's signed by him. So it's really awesome, and it's one of my prized possessions.
All right, Focal speakers.
What about them?
Best. Or is there something cheaper with the same quality?
There is nothing cheaper with the same quality. Is there something cheaper with that sounds like a Focal? I don't know.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, Focal makes
Mr. Bill
different type of speakers.
Yeah, but they all have a very similar Focal sound,
right?
Which is like that hard dome tweeter. That inverted dome on most cases that is just like I don't.
But it's plenty speakers to choose.
Yeah, I don't really think there's anything that sounds like a Focal because it wouldn't be a Focal. I mean, no, but there's plenty of nice speakers out there to choose from.
Yep.
If you like something that has a really predominant tweeter and just grabs you in the face, metal sound, maybe check out the Rockford T2s. Those have that metal tweeter, and they're very bright. Now, you'll never confuse the two, but if you like a really bright tweeter, that'd be a way to go.
I have a ground loop sound issue in a 2020 Subaru STI with the Harman Kardon system using an audio control D6 1200 line level and from the OEM amplifier. Running full active focal flags all over an LC 1.800 fitting 210s focal flags, slim woofers. I have checked every connection, etc., but still getting that sound. Any ideas?
Wow. So he's getting a what noise?
A ground loop sound issue.
Sound. See, I feel... Okay. We've said this 100 times. You need to do more testing. And you can check your ground 1,000,000 times and like check the screw and see if it's tight. Have you metered your ground resistance between the battery and the actual ground plane? You might have a solid mount, but you might have a crappy ground plane that you're attached to. Have you tried connecting your phone into it to see if it's your source unit or your amplifier? It could be the amplifier, it could be the source unit. There's a lot of variables that have to happen here. How to use your phone? You get an aux jack to RCA adapter. If it's an iPhone, you get the lightning to aux jack, you plug them all in. You can pick this whole $15 if you have an iPhone, and $2 if you have an Android with a headphone jack. But plugging these things in to the inputs on the amplifier will tell us what we have. Also, how far do you have your gains turned up? You know, if your gains are turned up too high, you can get a ground loop there. Check the battery underneath the hood. Make sure you have tight battery terminals. Oddly enough, we've seen cars that come in and they're just loose. There's a lot of simple things you can do. But the other thing too is you can disconnect all your speaker wires and just connect one. See if it's still there. Sometimes there's like a bad speaker wire or a bad speaker altogether where the basket of the speaker is shorted to the voice coil. The speaker still works fine, but you're picking up a short through that. There's a lot of weird things that can happen. Dial it back sometimes is the best way to go. And just like checking like loose wires and stuff like that, you need to do more. You need to do more.
I like Tommy. How long it will last 1,000 feet? It will last exactly 1,000 feet.
How many dead people? All of them.
Yeah. Speaking of wire, how much power would the stock speaker wire be okay with in the doors of the new Silverado? Looking to tap into the door wire with the new speaker wire. If is that an okay thing to do?
Yes, you can use your stock speaker wire. It's plenty big for what you're trying to do. It's a funny topic, and that's why I'm laughing, because it's one of those topics that just really people get really kind of over the top on. And the reality is the speaker wire is fine. It'll handle the power you got to put on it. Especially when there's a lot of variables that are happening there, but you're good to go, man. Don't stress. You'll be fine. I get a pop when switching sources on my Helix. I don't know what that pop could be. It could be a source pop, meaning there could be some form of, a ground loop there that's causing that source pop. I would give Helix a call, talk to Doug, and see if Doug can help you with that. Or if you installed it yourself, or if you got it from a dealer, I'd definitely take it back. But that's not a good thing for sure. You can't have smoking and amp DSPs so on the fence of pulling the trigger. They really do. And we were just actually talking about the Eton because they came out with that new 7-channel, so with the DSP built into it.
Is there a way for me to install CarPlay and Android Auto in a 2013 MDX? It's an Acura MDX.
I mean, I'm sure there is. Well, okay, so
I trying to see if the one that you made actually the whole dash kit.
Yeah, the bottom piece.
The bottom piece.
The reason why we could do it in that one is because it didn't have a navigation radio. If it has a navigation radio, you could probably still do it. It just depends on what you're going to lose. Okay, so it's how creative do you want to get? All right, nothing easy. There's going to be nothing easy for sure. You may be able to do it by relocating the factory radio. You may be able to do it by just doing away with the factory radio. It depends on whether the AC controls are going through the radio or not. Or, as Mel is putting up there, is where I was going, something like a high 10 or one of the floating screen radios might be the way to go also, because like the high 10 is a single DIN. It comes with a 3-foot cable or comes with a 1.5-foot cable, but you can get up like a 6-foot cable or something like that, so you can actually put the brain someplace else. So if you needed to leave your factory radio in place, you may be able to push it back some in the dash and mount the high 10 in front of it. Yep. So there are options. It's just none of them are going to be easy. It's just how creative you want to get.
Actually, Martin just put one yesterday and looks pretty cool.
You did?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Martin Gomez, yeah. All right.
Oh, I thought he meant in that car. Yeah.
Out of the F-150 builds,
hello from Plant City. Sorry,
which do you like more? All the F-150s that we've done, which one you like more?
I really don't have a favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I mean, it's just an F-150. I mean, to me, I love doing them because it's like we know exactly what we need to do. I mean, this morning I spent half the day just cutting parts, routing out parts, lasering parts. So we have all the parts pretty much down pat. So, I mean, we have the tweeter pods pretty much for all the tweeters we carry. We have the audio control panel. We have the speaker panels. If we're doing premium sound like in this, we're doing hybrids, so we cut panels for them. So, I mean, it's just a matter of, and we have the amp rack down now.
Of the equipment and everything, the full DA system that we did, that was really cool.
Okay.
That was the...
Yeah. Oh, that was a Raptor. That's why I wasn't thinking about it. No, that was okay. You're right. I'll go with that one. You win.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's do that. Can you hook up 2 subs to a kicker key 501? Of course you can, as long as they're good with 500 watts.
Correct. Yeah.
I have not installed the 10-inch in the Camaro yet. We've been slammed, but it is on point to hopefully do here really quick.
All right, quick. Damien Fast. I sent you a private message about an amplifier question. I'm sorry, we have so many questions, but this is the opportunity for you to ask again.
Yeah, because chances are good. I don't read my private messages, man. I have very, very fleeting time, and it's usually
nobody has time.
I don't have the time, man. It's editing or working or whatever. No, as far as the Audison goes, does the Audison? No, it does not have an up mixer. It has a center channel out, but it's not up mixed. Like to say thank you for all the great advice. Having been trying to get time alignment done. Have you done a vid on a one-person go in the right direction without all the cool gear you have? All right, so it's a KW96. All right, so you're trying to do time alignment off of a JVC radio. All right, pay attention. Here's what you need. You need to go on to, hopefully you have iTunes or something similar to it. You're going to need a polarity pop track, all right? Something that makes the pop-pop sound that you've seen in all the videos. For that, we use the Sheffield Labs My Disc. That's Sheffield Labs My Disc. And it just goes pop, pop, pop. There might actually be one in the DNF tool drawer on the meters page on the bottom. I think there's one there too, if you don't have iTunes where you can just get it. All right. Go into the time alignment page on the factory radio. Zero everything out. Zero it all out. All right. There's a couple different things that are going to happen. For one, it's Japanese radio. It's going to be backwards. Try fading just to the front first. Just fade it to the front, zero everything on the DSP, and start moving the distance on the passenger side out, leaving the driver's side alone. This is counterintuitive to what you think. Most of the time you want to move the driver's side out. Don't. Start moving the passenger side out. See, and what you should hear as it's popping, as you're starting to move, it should start to pop from it should sound like it's in the corner here on the driver's side. It should start slowly moving till it gets into the center. All right, as you're advancing the passenger side speaker out. This only works on radios, so don't try it on DSPs, and that's just because they're typically backwards. Now, if that works, you're fine, you're done. Bring up the rear, and you might need to add like 3 or 4 feet to the rear just because. Now, if you're doing it and it doesn't seem to be moving, then of course switch to the other side and start moving the driver's side out. But on a radio, I typically start with the passenger side just because they're usually for right-hand drive cars, and even though they're in the U.S., for something they just don't work right that way. And that should get you Sheffield Labs is available on Tidal and Deezer. There you go. Try that and see what that does. What you're looking for is that pop sound to sound like it's coming out of the center of the dash. Once you get it in the center of the dash, you're done. You can walk away, play some music. It's good as it's going to get on a radio using time alignment. I know it's one of those things we should probably do a video on. However, it's really hard to show people that popping noise as you hear it. But we will add it to the list of things that we want to do. That way everyone can get angry with us for going, that doesn't work. Whatever.
All right.
Marty, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Marty?
Hey, from Canada. Hey.
From Canada. 2018 Mustang with 8-inch screen with the factory amplifier and the kick panel.
Yeah.
Should I use the DSR1 as a LOC or use the high level going to the Addison APF 8.9 bed?
Totally use the DSR1 as an LOC. Well, not an LOC. It's an interface.
Yes,
totally use that as your interface to get into it. Here's a couple cool reasons why you'd want to do that. Basically, what they're talking about is they have a Forza, which has a DSP built into it. It's a great DSP. It's parametric. It's fun to use. It's super sexy. But they have this Ford factory radio. iData does make an interface into it, which they allow you to use the DSR1. Now, a couple cool things about the DSR1, along with having all 8-channel DSP and all that fun stuff, what it does have is a basic EQ setting, which you can't use when you hook it up to the Ford. So, a couple things you can do is you can use the DSR1 as you can tell it to program the factory radio for subwoofer level control on the bass on the radio. So if you don't want to put a bass knob in, you don't have to. You can use the DSR1 to do that. So you can actually, when you control bass in the car, it'll bring the subwoofer up and down. One of the nice features about that is that if some goofball gets in your car and starts turning up the bass, it's not going to affect the other mids and highs in the car. You can also use punch bass out of the DSR1. So one of the things that the Audison doesn't have is a bass boost. Well, the DSR1 does, so you can use it one of two ways. You can have it programmed into the radio to where you can control it there, or you can control it from the app itself, but it'll give you that nice boom that you're not going to use, that you're not going to get out of the Audison if you do like that kind of thing. Not everyone does, it's okay.
What's up, Mark? This is a good one. Does the audio control have a ground loop jumper built in, or is just the old stuff?
Yes, it does, but it's not a ground loop jumper. It's a ground resistance.
Okay.
That's been in there since day one. It's not for ground loop. It's not a ground loop isolator. It's just and honestly, in the hundreds and hundreds of them we've put in, we've never used it. Doubtful it'll do anything for you.
Now that we talk about the DSR1, how many amplifiers can I hook to the DSR1? I have a two T404s. Yeah.
It has 8 channels of output. You can hook as many amplifiers up to it as you want because it's just RC outputs. However, you have 8 channels to designate what you want them to be. So for example, if you're doing a 3-way system where you're going to put a bunch of tweeters, a bunch of mid-range, and a bunch of mid-bass, and some subs, that's all 8 channels. Actually, you could do center 2 if you wanted because you can separate 2 of the channels. But there's 8 channels. Alright. Phone time. Yay. Since we're talking about DSR1, this will make all the Rockford guys happy. Perfect Tune. Let's go to the camera. Here, this is the Perfect Tune app. Go to Setup. You can download this on an Android or an iPhone. Doesn't matter. If you go to Setup Device, hit the car icon in the top. Universal standalones, like okay. Now if you're going to do it as a DSR1, you're going to have programmed it following all the cool videos we have. They do come up to date now, so if you get a current one, you're all set. Low level or high level, we'll say low level, keep going. There's a switch you need to flick on the side. 4 volts, yes. Inputs, we're going to do front and rear. It only has 4 channels of input. You can do front and sub or front only, whichever works for you. And then it's telling you what you need to plug into. The orange is not used. That's your digital input. And then this is the page we wanted to get to. So this is your standard 6-channel front rear sub. This is your center front rear sub. This is active front stage, tweeter mid rear sub. This is just front stage and sub. This is front stage center. This is a 3-way active front stage and sub. This is front and sub.
Yep.
And this is a front, sub, center. And that's it. Those are the only choices you get. So if you download the app, you can play along and it'll tell you what you can do. Now, also, if you get into the Forza, the Audison that the question was directed at, it has a very similar user interface that you can set up, or you can go in and tell it what you want it to do. But that's one of those cool products I like, where it can be as easy as you want or as difficult as you want. You decide.
All right. What's up, Mike? I have a 2018 Mustang with the DSR1. Going to the audio control D4.800 and the LC 1.800 with my input gain set to where it doesn't distort. On my amplifier volume, output is really low, where I have to turn the radio up to 24, 25 to be at the volume where 20 used to be loud. What can be wrong?
Okay, so I pay no attention to the numbers on the radio. I want to be able to turn my radio up all the way. So if it goes up to 35, I want it to go up to 35. I don't know anything else other than that. Especially on a forward volume control works on a power band, meaning as you're turning the volume up, it goes like this, and it's going up gradual. And there's a huge amount of this gradual incline, and then at the very end, it goes straight up and gives you a ton of voltage output. The reason why they do that is because as you're turning it up slowly, it's only gradually getting louder. It isn't until the very end where you're pretty much committed to it that it gives you that super high output. So if you're tuning it thinking that, oh man, yeah, no, you need to pump it up and get the maximum turnage out of that. That's it. I mean, we've done that same system before in that car, and we've had plenty of volume. But there again, we set up our gain stage to where if it goes up to 35 and it's not distorted at 35, we're playing it up to 35. And we go from there.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I have. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm looking to purchase a DSP, and I have watched most of your DSP reviews. There's 3 that I'll be interested. The Audison Bit 1, the Helix DSP, and the Alpine PXE A50. What DSP will you guys recommend?
Well, the 850 is clearly going to be the most inexpensive out of that bunch. So if we're just going for cost benefits, the Alpine is a great piece to go with. It has 12 channels of output. It's very reasonably priced. It's fairly simple to use. It doesn't have a lot of back end things, but it does seem like it comes with a lot of stuff that doesn't really do much. You can use your phone, so out of the box, it's a pretty solid DSP. I have it in my car. No complaints. Other than the Bluetooth audio portion of it sucks, but I don't use it for that, so it's okay. The other 2 are probably going to get you into a little bit or a lot bit more money, and be a little they're pro driver. They're pro for sure. So they're going to take your user capabilities up, meaning there's a lot of back end stuff that those do that the Alpine doesn't, because the Alpine is more of a price point driven product. I mean, I know it's only a couple $100, but for a couple $100 you're going to be getting a better DSP. So for me, it'd be a toss up between the Audison or the Helix for sure.
Does AudioFrog make 3-way component set? I mean, a three-way set, or do the speakers have to be purchased separately?
They have to be purchased separately.
Everything is, yeah. Well,
the idea behind it, it's a small company. It's a very small company. It's basically Andy Waymeyer, and he runs the whole thing. But yes, you'd be buying them separately, and the idea would be that you're going to be running them active. So but they don't package these things together. I've talked to them about that, and it's just not the direction that the company wants to go in. They are a small company, just makes really nice stuff, and they want to keep it simple. So, yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Alright, let's see.
Guess I'm going with the Helix.
Yeah, that was the next
DSP.
one. Yep.
It's approximately the same price as the Audison. Speakers
With
will be the Merles for Tooth and the Audio Frog GS. Thoughts? Oof. That's a tough one. They're very similar.
I mean, either system is gonna be nice.
I'm leaning more towards the Audio Frog, only because I don't think that amplifier will have enough. Well, it might have enough power. I mean, it just depends how much power you can get to the mid bass.
But that's the GS. It's not the
it's not?
GB.
Oh, okay. So I go Vertus then.
Yes.
Yeah, I go Vertus.
Okay.
I mean, they're both gonna sound great.
They really nice. That's like I say. It's just.
Yeah, whichever works. DSP Recommendations. I have a 2014 BMW with a bass stereo head unit, currently running a hybrid audio front and active at amp hertz.
Under seat sub.
And a hybrid 10-inch in the trunk, all powered off an Audison. Okay, I need 8 channels of out. I'm currently running everything off a pack LOC. I would check out the Bit Nove. I'd check out your Audison Bit Nove.
9 channels.
That's 9 channels. That'll give you some room there, so it has 9 channels of output, not just 8. That gives you a dedicated subwoofer output, so that you can do a little bit more with it. It gives you 8 channels of DSP for the interiors to cross them over any way you want, and then a 9th output if you ever decided to put their subs on their own channel or whatever you want to do. It's kind of a really nice thing. You're already involved with those brands, so I would check it out. It's a pretty nice piece.
What is the max volume till distorting on the Kenwood DNX 996XR? I don't think that distorts.
It shouldn't distort at all. You should be able to turn it all the way up with no problem. I've very, very, very rarely do I ever find a Kenwood that you can't turn the volume all the way up on. And
Oh, yeah.
I also have a Pioneer sub at 250 Hz, 4 ohms. Is the amp you recommend? I have no idea. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up with you? What's up with Monday? I don't know. I'd never get to read this one before. What? Okay, so this is the first part of that. What unit would you recommend compared to a Pioneer AVH 5600 and the new units Pioneer? It's a Nissan Rogue with the Bose system. And then it also says I also have a subwoofer. I also have a set of Pioneer subs at 250. What amp would you recommend? Okay, as far as amplifier goes, Pioneer makes, if you're a Pioneer guy, Pioneer makes a small sub amp that is really nice. It's a little 800 watt guy. It's about, I think they're under $200. It's a beautiful amplifier to power that. You do 2 ohm mono on it all day long. It'll make those things sound great. As far as the new radio goes, I could not tell you a Pioneer model number if I had to right now to save my life. I know they still make a 4000 series radio of some kind, and that would be the one I'd recommend because I know it's a Mechaless short chassis radio. I think it's like a 4660 or something like that.
Something, yeah.
Which has no GPS. It's just beautiful looking CarPlay, Android Auto, audio grade components. As nice as they come as far as video head units go. But I would recommend something like that. Now, if you're Rogue, they'd work in a Rogue. That'd be fine. Yeah. Unless you want to get something big and have a floating screen. You got room for it in that car, that's for sure. So, look at like a 7600, which is the big, floating screen unit. That'd look really nice in that Rogue for sure. Did y'all have a Jeep in the shop Friday? Yes. Yes, we did.
We did?
Yeah. It was Friday. It came in Friday and left Saturday, and then we had one in the morning. We had like 2 or 3 of them last week. What does true RMS mean in a multimeter? Is it important for DC measurement? I have never seen true RMS in a digital multimeter. I have no idea. I don't think it's important in a digital multimeter. None of mine have it, and I'm pretty good.
Yeah. The PRS.
Definitely floating. So check out obviously the flagship one is the 8000, whatever that's called. It's a beautiful radio. It's beautiful silver trim, nice. I think the 7000 is a cheaper version of it. I don't really know what the differences are. It's not that much difference, and I know most of them that we've installed have been the 8000.
All right, that one.
Which one? This one?
Yes.
It's my built-to-spec large ported box for two 13 W6s, tuned to 34 hertz. Sacrificing anything now that I've taken my whole build in an SQ direction? No. Why would it be? And there again, when you say SQ direction, okay. Sound quality and sounding good and guys that hang out in a parking lot and compete are two totally different things, okay? Don't confuse the two. If you're building a car to compete in, one of these organizations and you're going to be tuning it to that, that's a whole different animal to go down. That's not necessarily sound quality in the sense that you're going to sit back and enjoy it and automatically assume that you have this really amazing sounding car. That is a Floyd Merriweather style competition in that he wins those fights because he is a technical fighter. He goes for points. And if he gets a knockout, that's a bonus. But he goes for points and he wins by points. It's no different when you're competing in those organizations. You go for points, meaning you have to find certain things that do certain things and you get points for those things. That doesn't necessarily mean that your car sounds drop dead amazing. It's going to sound good, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that you're going to you might not like living that way every day of the week, all right? It's not always that much fun.
It's SQL, yeah.
Yeah, so sound quality loud is what most people would associate with sounding good. The point is, when you get in your car, balance. Balance is key. You want to get in there and the sub needs to play at the same level that complements the mids and highs. You don't want it to sound like all your bass is coming from behind your head and it's just smacking the back of your head. All right? You want it to sound like the bass is coming from the front of the car in the sense that it's okay, but it's really hard to do and have it stay that way. And that's where the difference in competition in real life comes in. You put your subwoofers in the trunk, you need to find that balance. Well, what if you want more bass? Immediately you're going to change that whole thing around. So it's not as important. What you want is imaging and staging. You want it to sound like the sound is like you're at a concert and the sound is coming from up front. That's not necessarily sound quality. That is something, like Jason said, is SQL, sound quality loud. But I like to think of it as more of an enjoyable thing, and that's what I go for. When I tune a car, I want it to be fun, I want it to be enjoyable, I want people to sit in it and be like, hell yes, this is fun, this is cool, all the stuff is happening, it's like you're at a concert. Concerts don't sound good, concerts sound like crap, but everyone goes. Why? Because it's an experience, it's a joy, it's happiness. That's what you're going for. So I like punchy deep bass. To compete in those, you don't want punchy deep bass. I want to vibrate my body sometimes, yeah. And that's not what those are designed to do. So, no, there's no reason to change your box and do all that nonsense. If you like the way they sound, find your mids and highs that will complement those. Make sure you have a volume control, and just go from there. Hope that helped.
There you go.
Why is JL the best brand? JL's not the best brand. You're just being a goof because you like it so much. It's okay. It's not the best brand. They are some of the best marketing brands. There's a lot of brands out there, and even ones that we don't mention on this show, just because there are a lot of brands out there that are phenomenal beyond words.
Blam.
Okay? There is no one brand out there that is the end-all, be-all brand of everything. It just doesn't exist. There are brands that make great products, in a sense, and then they make some okay products. And you have to do that. You have to find that balance between good, better, best, exceptional, because not everyone can afford exceptional. We'll take Focal because we talk about them a lot. When you look at like a Utopia M. Utopia M is a flagship. It's far away from where most people are going to spend their money and be. However, they make that speaker because it's something to shoot for. It's something to strive for. It's like, hey, we have this flagship right here. But then they also make the Auditor. And the Auditor is an entry-level version of a Focal speaker. It's very affordable. You can get them for like $80. And it's like these two sides. You got $5,000 over here, and you got $80 over here. Now, we both know that $80 speaker and that $5,000 speaker are two totally different animals as far as sound quality and super cool goes. JL's no different. That's it.
I think what's best for you. That's it. If this is the best for you, that's the best for you.
And there again, listen, like Charles is saying, this particular brand is better than those. Probably is, but that's the great thing about speakers. The sound is subjective. Look, I've said it a dozen times. My favorite brand is Morel, but that doesn't mean I don't like other brands. It just means that I have a passion for that brand. I like what they do. I stand behind their products. I enjoy them very much. But I'm not going to rope myself in to be like, nope, I just have to have those. Screw that, man. If there's something better out there, or something that I like the way it sounds better,
of course,
I'm going to use those. I'm going to try those. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, the other thing too is, there again, if I'm in the Auditor price range, I don't care. Let's say I absolutely love Focal. I love Focal. It's like, oh, it's so amazing. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I can afford is Auditors. Well, that's fine if that's what I want to do. But at that same price point, there's 100 other manufacturers that make speakers too. Yeah. I might like one of those better. Correct. So I'm going to go look around and try and see.
I feel you got to try different if you have the ability to do that. But, I mean, why not? Right now, the amplifiers sound really good, Lawrence. I love them.
Oh, we're talking about your
yeah. So he said, Fernando, how the amplifier in your car.
See, look at that. He watched the video. He watched it till the end when I told everyone to ask you what you thought of it.
Yeah. They're still really nice. They definitely change. It's like crazy. It's like,
great
oh
answer,
my god,
one of the hardest
nice
questions. That's what makes you guys great. Hey, look, man, there's two things in life that we all live by. If you're not on my team, you suck, which sucks.
But that was pretty cool about the Floyd Mayweather, man. I was like,
oh, the Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I mean that's how he wins.
It's about points, huh?
Yeah. Today's exceptional. Cool. Tomorrow is best. Yeah, hey. And the other one is when a new version of a speaker comes out on a Wednesday and you bought the old one on a Tuesday, that doesn't mean that the Tuesday speaker
Now, keep in mind, you might not like the new one that they just came out.
Correct.
It's not because
this
is the
totally
new one.
correct, because I can tell you from experience that
you might not like the new one.
They'll come out with new ones, and you're just like, I'm
just gonna go back.
Do you have the old one? Can you get me?
Can
one
I
of those?
get my money back?
Can I get the old ones?
Yeah. But it's just, I'm glad that I was able to work here with you and build the lab on the car because we can swap amplifiers, DSPs, and everything on my car, and then dude, I just remembered just a radio and 4 speakers. Oh, I'm so nice.
Robert's calling hi-fi a troll. That's awesome. Is it recommended to run fans on multi-amplifier systems? No. No. If your amps get hot and they shut off, then maybe. But most modern amplifiers, if they need a fan, the manufacturer build a fan into them now because there's enough space inside of these fans, inside of these amps to put fans. I can't think of the last time we put a fan in a car.
Oof.
And we bury these things, and they don't have problems.
And
the other thing, too, is most of these amplifiers are way more efficient now than they were in the past.
Correct.
The efficiency on these amplifiers is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Those sound digitals, oh my God, those are super efficient.
Yeah.
I put them on risers just because I was like, they're this big.
Yeah.
And it's putting out 800 watts. It's going to get hot, maybe.
I played it the other day on Saturday for literally hour and a half straight.
Oh, you sat out there?
Yes, and I was just doing my thing, blah, 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 and then I'm like, oh, let me go back. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah, because they're
not on fire.
Those are the only ones that are smart enough to put the thermal warning on them.
But no, they awesome.
like the
never cut off, nothing. It's just
So the mini T's have the fans built into them.
Yeah.
So you'll hear those fans kick on and just go.
Now some people ask, "Oh my God, my amplifier is like on fire." That's what they do.
Used a fan in a car today when I ran the heater. What's a heater? I don't know. What is this thing he calls a heater?
I don't know.
I mean,
I have AC here.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was gonna say that we ran the fan today when we were running the AC.
Yeah, that's it.
And we'll be running that for another 2 months, and then we'll
it.
probably run it for another month after that.
Believe me or not, I never put my my heating in my car.
Well, in the car, I will in the car because we've left. Yeah, I mean, I will because I'm cold. I don't do well in the cold.
You're old.
I am old. But so ceiling fans.
Mm-hmm.
They literally you install a ceiling fan, it goes on high, and the only time it will ever shut off is when the power goes off.
Yeah.
Other than that, that fan will never move.
Sometimes Gabby's like, "Can you open the window?" But I still want to keep the AC on, and it's like, just turn the AC off, and I'm like, I get.
Well, yeah, but if it's like 40, 50, like when winter.
We never got 40 here.
Yeah, we get 50. We get 50. It's okay.
We barely got 60.
So y'all have heaters in Florida. We have electric heat.
Yeah.
So
Heater
it sucks.
Yeah,
and when you turn it
exactly.
on that first time for like that hour in like July or January, it's like, oh God, that stinks. Okay. Enough air conditioning talk. Hello, my new shop I'm moving into next month has complete air conditioning. My current install blade doesn't. It's horrible. Oof. So this year was the first year that we ran the AC in the install bay, and that was only because it was freaking outrageously hot, and we were going to be working on the car for 2 to 3 days.
And also because all the situation of the pandemic, we
have,
closed everything, so nobody
no
can come
in.
Yeah.
But the air conditioning is made to air condition just the waiting room in the front, and not necessarily back here. But there's no one up front. We left the door open. We cooled the install bay. I don't know what the power bill was, but Paul wasn't complaining, so we went ahead and did it.
Addison Thesis amps have no fans. Of course.
And they don't get hot.
Why?
Yeah.
Exactly. Do I need a fuse on a small computer 12-volt DC fan? I want to add, and if you saw, the remote ground, power and ground. Okay.
So here's something to keep in mind. Whatever you're doing, as far as a power wire goes, what is it connected to? We've done a video showing you how to tap into a fuse box, and there's a fuse. It depends on what you're tapping it into and where the wire is going to run. The answer to the question is always yes, it should have a fuse. And think of it like this. If you're running a power wire through a car, all right, and wherever it's connected, that is the problem. Wherever it is connected, what kind of a fuse source is that? So if you have a fan that draws, let's say 3 to 5 amps of current, and you have that on a 10 amp fuse, the likelihood of it ever blowing that fuse is non-existent. However, you have 10 feet of wire running through the car. If that fan goes thermonuclear, you're going to burn 10 feet of wire through that car because there's no fuse. Or it's not, the source that you're connected into is too high of an amperage to burn the wire. So that's why you add the fuse. The fuse is to protect the car and the wire, or the wire from burning the car to the ground. Not at the fan. The fan, who cares? You don't need a fuse at the fan. You need a fuse at the source that you're tapping. That's what you want to think about. That's it. That's where that fuse would need to be. If you're connecting it to the power wire on the amplifier, well, then you'd put a fuse at the fan. But there again, it all just depends on where that wire is, how long it is, what it's connected to, and what it can set on fire if it shorts out. That's what a fuse is for, is to prevent that. That's all. So those are the things you need to keep in mind. So as he says, the short answer is yes, it should have a fuse. The long answer is where is it going to go? Placement of the fuse is the most important. I can't tell you, and this is the best. You'll agree with me on this. When someone will come in and they'll buy an amp kit, they'll connect the power to the battery, and then they'll put the fuse in the back of the car.
Yes.
And you just look at it and go, okay, you realize that fuse is for underneath the hood, right? Oh, I thought I needed one back at the amplifier. Oh, well, you may. But you need the one under the fuse, under the hood, more than you need the one back here.
Yes.
And then they just look at you like you're on crack, and then you're like, okay, so here's the deal. If I take this wire and I rub it into the ground right now, what's going to happen? Is it going to blow this fuse, or is it going to set your car on fire? Oh, yeah, I should probably move it. I mean, it literally comes in the kit, and they put the kit in backwards.
Yes.
It's like, and it tells you on the back of the package where the fuse is supposed to go.
No, and even
And
because
they
give you the 18 inches with a terminal already.
Yeah.
So you can put it on, and it's like, okay, what is this little thing? Throw it away.
Yeah. It's like you just.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, Juan Carlos.
Draws half an amp. They're okay. It's there again. You're not worried about the amperage draw on the fan. You're worried about the wire. So if it draws half amp, you could literally put a 1 amp fuse in there, or a 2 amp fuse, or a 3 amp fuse. You're just protecting the wire. That's all you're doing. Because the wire is going to pass all the amperage that the car can feed through it. It doesn't care what that draws. If you put 15 amps of current draw on the other end, it'll draw it. So protect the wire, put in a small fuse, and that's all you got to worry about.
Focal components in the front and coaxials in the rear. What would you recommend? 4 or 6 channel? Well,
depends if you want to go
if you're
passive
going to
or
active or passive, yes.
Passive or active, and whether or not the amplifier you're choosing has a ability to go active. Or if the crossovers or speakers you're going to use have the ability to do biamp through the passive crossover. Those are all things you have to consider. A 4-channel amp relies on you using your passive crossover networks to power everything. It's super simple. You hook it up, you rock on, yay! Fun. Active, you have to have that tweeter crossover, which usually means you have to have an amp with a 10-time multiplier switch, so you can get up to the 3500 or 5000, whatever you're gonna run them at. Or you need a passive crossover that has an input on it for just tweeter and an input for just mid. So that's really what it comes down to, is how involved you want to get into that installation. I know, right?
What?
60-40 split in an SUV seat. Want to run 2 12s behind the 40 split. $600 budget for 2 10s or 2 12s. If you say so, what you say. I say that's not a lot of room for 2 subwoofers. I would recommend going with the Kicker L7 Q-Class pre-made 12-inch enclosure. That's perfect for behind the 40 in an SUV. You can stand it up. It'll go right up against there. Put a Rockford T750.1 on it. I know, whatever. I don't care. Mix and match. It'll do the job. And boom. Bob's your uncle, you'll be super happy, and that thing will kick the crap out of any box you're going to build for 2 10s that's not going to fit all that well, and it's going to take up a lot less room and be incredible. Why risk car fire for $1?
Yeah.
Well, people do it all day long, man.
Why not? $1 is $1. Ooh, you should be quicker than that.
In terms of sound, I don't really know. I mean, they're okay.
And the video has something like Brazilian BS.
Hey Dean, 250 watts too much for the Morel Maximo 602s running active with the tweeter at 75 watts. I mean, there again, wattage isn't what kills these things most of the time. It's you can put an awful lot of wattage to something because it's really never going to see all that power. What screws things up is clipping and gain. So when you turn the gain up too high, and proper equalization, and proper crossovers, these are all things that blow these things. It's not the wattage. Very rarely is wattage what's blowing the speaker. It's all the other crap associated with it is what's blowing the speaker. So, yes, it'll handle it. No, it won't if you don't set it up properly. I mean, I've run 500 watts to a set of 6x9s, 250 watts a side, and 7x10s actually, Kenwood Exelons. I still have them. I ran them like that for 7 years, 8 years in my Dodge. Sounded great. Got rid of my Dodge, took them out. Still have them sitting in the attic. Them? Oh yeah, yeah, they're up in the attic somewhere. The Addicts has probably done more damage to him than I ever did running that amount of power to him. But it's not the power. It's all the other crap associated with setting up the power that kills the speakers. So as long as you set it up properly, you have nothing to fear.
That was pretty cool. I like it. Richard. What's up, Marty Dean?
I'm having issues getting my phone audio to connect to my car stereo, so change the name of my device to tag.
Problem solved. Done.
Whatever works. Millie Legend 3-way active. Have not RTA'd or EQ'd. Is my mind going to be blown once I tune the whole setup, time alignment, and basic crossovers already done? I would think so. But there again, it also depends on what you consider mind blown and what you... I would think so.
I mean, the only thing that's going to blow...
See, the problem that you run into is that on an untuned system, it's just everything doing whatever it wants to do.
Yes.
It's just running around with your underwear around your ankles and just everything hanging out. And I guarantee you this.
Make sure the gains are all the way down. Because
when you look at a system from the left side and you look at a system on the right side, they never match. Ever. And some of the anomalies you get between right and left side,
how's that possible?
Are insane.
Yeah.
Like totally insane. Because depending on where the tweeter is, and the mid range is, and oh my god. So would you be totally blown away? I would think so. But then again, I don't know. Some people get really weird about things, and they're just like, I don't know. So I don't know. I would think so. Later, gents. See ya, fro. And that takes us to the magic hour, the hour that we've been here. Let's do some quick maintenance work here. DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can go to find all the cool tools we use. Just scroll down here and you can check it out. Earlier today we talked about a popping polarity sound if you don't have access to one. There it is right there, downloadable, Polarity Pops. You can download that and it'll go pop, pop, pop for you. Pretty fun. And then we're going to come over here to this place. This is Teespring/store/5star. Teespring.com/store/5star. You can easily just go to Teespring and type in 5-star car stereo. But what you're going to find is this guy. That's right. This is the new 2020 awesome hoodie available in a t-shirt. And this is a zipper hoodie. This is the front here. It's got the cool little 5-star circuit board logo built into it. And this is the back of it here. But yeah, this is the new hoodie we got coming out. You can get it in multiple colors depending on how you're feeling. Yeah, it comes in green, it comes in blue, it comes in light gray, it comes in dark blue, blue on blue if you're just into that kind of thing, and of course it comes in red. My personal favorite on this one is going to be black. I designed it for black, so it's probably going to look best on black. But that's it. You guys can pick them up, and the going price for that is actually real reasonable too. It's $35. So it's $35 for the hoodie. Lots of fun things over there. You can get into the t-shirt too. Yeah. But there you go. That's it.
Juan, checa el canal de YouTube que tenemos, porque tenemos varios videos donde podemos mostrarte cómo llegarte al punto que necesitas en el DSP.
How do I match left and right with an RTA? Gains or nothing. You need an RTA and you need EQ. So EQ is how you set it. You have an RTA, you play pink noise, and you can match your left to right. That's the fun of setting up the car, and that's what takes so long is matching your output from left to right.
No hoodies allowed in Florida. It's only for 1 week, man.
Forget that, man. I had a jacket on yesterday.
Really?
Oh, dude, it was freezing inside of Publix.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and the mall was ice cold, boy. Oh, my God. It was free. I was literally walking around like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's Monday. It's a lot of fun. Saturday, we'll be back. Make sure Thursdays, if you guys aren't checking out Thursday over on the Hi-Fi Vega channel on YouTube, that's when he and I do polarity check.
Reverse polarity.
Yep. That one, reverse polarities. That's what
yeah,
we do reverse polarity. It's just a really cool show where we talk about car audio stuff. We don't answer questions because we save that for this, which is way more fun. But yeah, we just talk about cool car audio. There's like 5 episodes up right now, so if you want to get caught up and see what that's all about, head over to Hi-Fi Vegas, YouTube.com, or you can go to ReversePolarity.com. He's got the URL there. There's links to the whole thing. So check out ReversePolarity.com and subscribe. Subscribe to Hi-Fi Vegas channel, and it's a lot of fun there. If you want to subscribe someplace else, Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips here on YouTube. Not here, there on YouTube. Is where shows like this, we cut up the little questions and we answer them there. So a lot of times if you didn't get a question, there might be one there. You can go ahead and give it a search. They're all labeled and a little bit easier to find.
Yeah.
Good times. Otherwise, make sure you follow us on Instagram because we like to go daily on Instagram and tell you what's happening in the install bay. If you want to know what's going on in this F-150, head over to Instagram. 5-star car stereo. That's number 5-star car stereo. You can find us. We go on. We talk about it. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff happens there.
Yeah, all we give away all the morale and
we do giveaways. Giveaways are fun. Friday morning on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips is when we do the news. Right now, that's sponsored and brought to you by Morel. You can win a Morel T-shirt, so make sure you check that out. You can go over there and watch all the previous issues. And that's it. Oh, one last thing, of course, you can do is if you go to mobilesolutions.com, type in the coupon code 5-star. That is 5-star. You can buy a PT9A Plus. If you're a member of the Clean Wire Club, make sure you watch the video where you can register to win one for free.
There you go. Now you have 2.
And you'll have 2, and your life will be complete.
All right, guys.
That's it. You guys have a wonderful day.
Bye.